Our friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here. Just some more Everquest Legends stuff. It's the last day of testing today before it goes offline for a week, and then 28th is the 28th is the big one. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen within that week. They've been kind of doing patches and stuff as things have been going along, so that's been pretty good. They've even updated a zone or two, I think, as well, while the game's been in testing. So I haven't gone and checked it out yet, but it might be one of the places I go to when the game goes live, just as like something new. Crushbone, I'm talking about, is the one that they've updated. Just in Lower Gut today, going to be on Dead Side. Just faffing about. Actually, I'm playing a Pally Monk Enchanter, which is kind of a bit meta. I don't think that's going to be what I end up going with. Probably first, I don't think. I think I really, like I've said it before, but I really love playing a warrior on P99. So you know, I was thinking maybe warrior replaced a paladin. And cleric replaced the monk. So warrior. So basically, the Holy Trinity, essentially. Like my own Holy Trinity kind of thing. See how it goes. I think, what I've got, I'm sure everyone else has got their plans, but I've kind of got, like before, like Kunark's going to be a while off. And I've kind of got some classes that I want to get to 50 before Kunark comes out. So, you know, that would be pretty easy, I would say. Particularly after your first time round. Because when you level a new class, all your classes kind of go back to level 10, but you keep all the AAs and the gear that you've accumulated, so just leveling is just that much easier. Is that dickhead wizard rooted me? It has, yeah. Can I reach it from here still? Maybe. The stuns are kind of a bit ridiculous, really. They just seem tuned. I know you've got like an AA that is supposed to deal with it, but they're just tuned too high, I think. I mean, essentially, whenever you go into any encounter, you're basically stunned right at the beginning of the encounter. So the mob just goes stunned straight away as soon as you enter combat. So it can just be a bit frustrating. It's a bit too much, I would say. I'm not sure if that's kind of one of the ways that they've decided to like balance the game, maybe, but it's not a particularly fun way. I always kind of think with those kind of things as well, it's like it's all quite a lot about games posing problems and then giving you solutions to it. But I think sometimes it can feel like a bit artificial. It's like, let's tune stuns but give them an AA to help with it, kind of thing. It's the kind of thing that you used to see. It's the kind of thing that Fallout 76 did, you know, where it's like it creates all these problems, and some of them really shouldn't be problems. It almost feels like they're only there just to create an AA or a skill in this case, you know. Yeah, but I'm thinking of going ogre anyway. Probably. I got myself a guise yesterday. Should probably use it actually. Let's chuck it on. I think looks pretty cool. I might as well go back to dual wielding. Right, got flaming. Got a couple of. I got some flaming fists from the fire elemental in the Gina. Got the haste belt from the Gina. So yeah. I think probably like a lot of people who are going to be efficient. Fucking ghoul root as well. It's that stun root as soon as you start the fight. Holy shit. But as soon as you break a mob out of Mez as well, it immediately stuns. It's just like stun is basically such a crazy thing. Yeah, like most people, I'm probably going to level a maybe only a wizard to 25, whatever it is that you need to get the ports. People that can do druids as well. I don't know if I'll do both. I've never been one that's adverse to running around the zone. I mean, it's amazing in this game with all the conveniences it's got. You'll still get people asking for a. It's got this thing kind of like group gather. So if you're in a group, you can gather people to where you are, teleport them to where you are essentially, and you still get people just sitting in chat for ages, like asking for someone to gather them to a dungeon that's literally like 2 or 3 zones away. And yeah, they just won't. They just don't. They just don't run. But I'm not adverse to running, so I'll probably just get one set of ports. Probably the Wiz. I think the Wizard's more likely to be a class that I'll play anyway at some point, just for something different to do. Might be quite interesting to do the Wizard Epic at one point. Interesting to see people's attitude towards it as well. I don't think my mesmerisation went off there, did it? I'm getting pummeled here. Still getting pummeled. Holy smoke. Just constantly getting stunned sideways there. Yeah, like as someone who's kind of playing and talking to people playing it. I've seen a couple of people say that this game's clearly not for kind of Everquest, like veterans, whatever that means. But pretty much everyone that pretty much everyone I'm speaking to who's playing it are all EQ veterans, and the people that I know are playing it from the channel. You know, you've all spent a lot of time on P99, so yeah, it's strange. It's strange. I think it goes back to that thing where there's like a mentality of a minority of players who don't understand life and how people just don't have the time that they appear to still have to invest in a game. And that's why I think something like this is popular, and it's why, you know, certainly a lot of people that I know play P99 are playing it, because it gives you an Everquest outlet, but in an environment where you don't have to. You literally just do it at your own pace. You know, that's all there is your pace. You know, your pace is not set by anyone else. But yeah, I just think you've still got that like. And actually, weirdly, they say it's not, you know, when you're looking at it again, also, I've seen a few people who have been complaining in chat and said they're just going to quit because they're still finding it too difficult or too slow or whatever it may be. You know, it's it's weird. It's weird. I think the thing is as well is it's not like this closes off any other experience for you. So you could still be a P99 and play P99, you know, and play this as well. It's not like you know, it's not like you have to choose. I'm not going to bother fighting those wizards. Although I'll bother fighting this wizard, I think. We'll probably go downstairs actually and just kill the 3 names, or just camp them, because we can just go around in a rotation. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like it or not, but it's the spawn timer in Guck is much higher than I've experienced so far. like not P99 high, but it's more towards that end than, you know, some of the lower level dungeons I've been in, which is interesting. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like that or... should we see if the who's up and who's not? Three nights. Can't bother to clear it. Let's go Dan. Although the Enchanted Pets is really good, I'll definitely want to. I think I'm definitely going to be charming a lot on when it goes live. I need to check see if there's an option to click off. For some reason, sometimes the targeting just goes like I'll accidentally pick up a target from somewhere, which means I'm then just not attacking my target, which can be a bit annoying. Am I rooted? No, that's good. It's funny having the choice to play the free classes, but also kind of eventually being able to level all the classes if you want on the one dude. But I still feel that altitis thing going on. It's really weird. I'm still like, oh, what should I play? But now it's more like, oh, what should I play first? Is the thing. Okay, let's go and med some dudes. Any wizards here? Yep. I think my leveling plan at the moment is just to faff around in the low level dungeons for whatever the gear I want, and then get to 40 here and then get straight to the hole. I think. Oh fuck's sake! Targeting. Get straight to 40. Go straight to the hole at 40. I think. I love the hole. It's just an amazing dungeon. Yeah, I mean you kind of don't really need to though, do you? Because you can just re-level on. It's just like why. It's just I just want to pick a trio to get to 50, and then just go from there. That just seems to be the most logical way of doing things. But at the moment, I'm like, oh god, what trio? You know, all the usual indecisiveness stuff that goes with it. I probably will start another character on the other Euro server, I guess, or maybe an American one if there's anyone I know that's on an American one. I think I just clear the roam as they come, really. What have we got? We have got... Oh, we got the scribe. Nice. Leroy Jenkins. Oh, a couple of wizards. That's not what you want to see. I know the Paladin is like popular at the moment, and it is strong, but it's weird though because it kind of doesn't really like smiting to lay on hands is kind of, you know, I think maybe there's a good stance as well, but it doesn't have a huge amount going for it really, other than that. But that is strong. I think knights, I think as I said before, knights I think have some pretty good ratio weapons, but yeah, it's funny. You go to the spell vendor, and it's like, oh, what do I buy? I don't know, because everything is still like low-level cleric stuff. Yeah, so, but I'm smiting to lay on hands is powerful, but then I haven't really used lay on hands. Yeah, I think at some point it's going to have to be the Uber Shaman in some way. Like, how do you make the Uberist Shaman essentially? A sage as well. Didn't even notice you there. I'm not sure if it become more relevant in raids, but it's interesting. It's the same on the hero's journey as well, but how irrelevant certain spell lines are now, like compared to P99, for example. Why have I got turned on? So at the moment, like stun and calm, it's like who cares really? You know, is this shithead healing himself? Why am I not dealing any damage to this to this shithead? Saying that, I'm not using any spells. So. It would help if I kept targeting him. I'm quite enjoying just the white damage. What braided cinch cord? I'm quite enjoying just the white damage, like tanking it out kind of stuff, actually. Which is predominantly the... He came from a long way away, that guy. It was never a thing with content creators on P99, but Everquest Legends is obviously it's a bit more commercial, I guess. So it's fallen prey to a million things I wish I knew before I started playing Everquest Legends garbage with AI. I'm going the wrong way. With AI thumbnails. I'm not quite sure who the name is here. I can't remember. It's been a little while, but he has not spawned yet. My pet is pretty smart with regards to mesmerization as well, which is good. Oh, boys. Uber stun. Stun. Is my pet attacking? No. Arguably at the moment, I guess it'd probably be more relevant for bosses, for raids and stuff, but like I'm not really finding slow. I'm needed to slow much particularly. Oh, I've seen people talking about it for raids though. Yeah, I did some D4 in Regina and Blackburrow and Befallen. Yeah, it's funny when everyone seems to have a pet. That was fun. When I was camping the Flaming Fist, the Fire Elemental just seemed to keep being a Beast Lord for some reason. So he had a Beast Lord pet all the time. It's quite funny. I love the idea of like the mobs being multi-class as well. Unless you get like a I can't remember what it was I had the other day. Paladin cleric something. Oh, wow, it's just unbelievably tedious to fight. Because obviously on D4 they're bullet sponges anyway. Yeah, but that was just painful. I just loaded up a load of stuns in the end. That was the one time where stuns actually were useful. Ah, Cavalier's up. Oops, Daisy. Yeah, it's weird. Again, back to what I was saying about like Everquest Legends has kind of caught the same virus that a lot of AAA games catch, where you just get loads of people doing like a billion things I wish I knew before I started playing type videos. It's interesting because there's a lot of these guide videos around, and you go to, I don't know if literally people just see it as a business, they probably do, but you go to their channel and then you go to their Twitch and they don't have it, there's nothing, oh, we've got the shoulders again. There's nothing relevant from an EverQuest point of view. It's almost like they've never played EverQuest before. Like some of the channels have got like half a dozen videos on. It's really weird. I don't quite know what that's all about. If it wasn't actually someone in the video talking, it'd almost feel like it was like spam from Facebook or whatever. It'd be nice. It's nice to get a few legacy bits as well. Like I don't think there are mana stones, but I'm sure I saw someone earlier who, well, he did have a amulet of necropotence, so it'd be good to be able to get that stuff. I don't want to go in there. Oh shit. I haven't done a huge amount of research actually. So some things I'd like to know that I need to find out. Like I was wondering how epics will work and if epics will be plus one, plus twos and stuff, and how you do that. I guess you do it with motes. Maybe you save up your motes. Maybe you can redo the quest or something. I thought it would have been quite good. I know it's stealing it from other games, but when you got your epic and you used it, it kind of slowly gained XP when it leveled itself up. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it's weird playing an Enchanter at the moment after playing one on P99 quite a bit. It's like stun, calm, tash, just not even relevant for leveling. I'm sure they will be a bit, maybe on the plains and stuff. Hello. Oh, there you are. I'm sure I've said this before as well, but this feels a bit more like if you're coming from P99 and you went to Hero's Journey, and then you've come here. Hello. There are always wizards here behind the wall. Then this feels more like a P99 experience than Hero's Journey did. Obviously, it's just vanilla predominantly, so I guess that would be obvious. But yeah, it's obviously it's not, but it's more like it, if you know what I mean. I was thinking about the other day also, and I think probably like Kunark would be my limit with it, possibly, depending on what happens. Yeah, as I've said, I didn't quite understand the idea of not releasing Velius because just because it just goes in order. I can't start understand things that are not in order. But also it's a real like content pack. It's a real content expansion. You know, whether it's not just leveling again. You know, you've got the faction stuff to work on and the sides. You know, your dwarves, giants, dragons, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but there's a load of stuff to do in Kunark. I wonder if someone has set themselves a challenge to do all of the epics. That'd be on one dude. That'd be pretty cool. What was that? Another AA. I picked some obvious stuff with AAs, but I haven't spent a huge amount of. I haven't spent a huge amount. Quite sure what to spend them on. Yeah, I mean, I mean that wouldn't bother me at all. Like I'm more of like a, you know, like if there was a version of this that did vanilla Kunark Velius and that was it, I'd play that for the rest of my life, kind of thing. I'm not really keen on stuff past Planes of Power's all right. I think it had some interesting stuff, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know. So you can't even choose the up. I mean, I wouldn't anyway. But you can't even choose the updated models if you want them. Is that right then? Obviously, you think obviously not with Lukelin not being out, but I wasn't sure if it was just an option they'd added in for people to choose if they wanted. Cool. I say cool. It doesn't bother me. I wouldn't switch them on. I'm sure I sound an old granddad, but I think the Lukelin stuff was Well, I think the models were kind of like the part of where the game started having its kind of soul sucked out of it, if you like. I think there were some pretty interesting dungeons there, but you know. Saying that though, I quite like the Ixar model, and I didn't mind the ogre one either. As a big ogre fan, I do love the ogre model, the you know, the classic one. But I did think from a lore point of view, although I know they were struck dumb, but I kind of feel that they looked a bit too dumb, a bit too goofy. You know what I mean? But I still love it for that reason. It's funny, but yeah, I don't mind the updated one. Oops. Woo. I'm kind of slightly depressing myself thinking about the Velius stuff, because on Hero's Journey I didn't get to play for very long before they turned it off, but I think I was kind of about to start doing the factions and stuff in Velius, and then I never got around to it. Trying to think of what would be like if you were just wanted to play a shaman. What would be the ultimate trio that kept like the flavour of. So I think warrior shaman, because warriors are pretty inoffensive, and you could still use like shaman weapons if you wanted. It's difficult to pick a third, like beast law, but it's too much overlap really. Maybe with a better pet, I don't know. What have we got? Yeah, I tried a character. I didn't really test it out properly, but I quite like the idea of having like just a character based around dots essentially. And I tried it for a bit, and it was kind of well, obviously, first of all, in the early game, you don't need to worry about dots particularly too much. Anyway, yeah, but I was kind of thinking to myself, maybe you only need one of those classes. I guess you could choose a couple of the best dots for each one. I think Necro gets some of the shade. There's some crossover on dots, aren't there? I guess when you get into Kunark and you get into the 60s, and is it Bane of Knife? Shamans get, and another one, and a yeah, maybe as you got into the 60s, like an Uber dot machine would be good. Um, Yeah, I guess Necro kind of sort of fits into the vibe. It feels as though it's designed in a way that like anything outside of DX raiding, you're probably going to be all right, you know. Like you can probably just faff around and have a good time. Any roamers here? I think there probably are, but let's see if I can get buffed up. Yeah, because the is the Necro epic a dot as well? The Shaman one is, isn't it? I'm not sure if the Necro one is. I think it might be. I love quick buff. Such a great, such a great AA. I like the way it does your pet. I feel like I'm thankful that it does your pet as well. So. Move over here a little bit. Get that mez off. I've also seen like this is. I know this is again is a common topic on this channel. I've got the sage up as well. Bloody rooted though. Can I reach the sage? Oh, I can hit a wizard. But I've also seen people kind of talking about overpowered and underpowered and stuff and whatnot, and it's like, you know, you want like you obviously want all the classes to be fun to play, but I don't know. Feels like you're kind of getting into that kind of thing again, you know, where it's like, I mean, it's predominantly aimed at like solo, I guess, small raid, small raid, and like I don't want the developers to get hung up on balance too much and stuff like that. It's kind of, I mean, it kind of feels like it's supposed to be more of like an Everquest, like power fantasy, more so than, you know, like P99 or whatever. It's just, it seems to be a really big thing, even in single player games, as I've said before. Everything has to be homogenized. Five int 3 AC. Nah. This running around the camps, just clearing them and moving on to the next one, just triggers my fucking autism badly. Like, if someone just put a drip in me and left me, I'd still be doing it next week. Just round and round and round. Calming my brain. I used mend then because I was a bit lazy. I've been trying not to use mend or lay on hands because if I do go, probably warrior cleric something or warrior shaman something. I'm just trying to emulate that a bit by just healing with my spells. I think someone said that the warrior's got a nice healing regen. I don't know if it's an AA or something, or a skill. I'm not sure how good it is, but when I was running here earlier, I was running through one of the deserts, and there's quite a lot of hill giants around. So I just casually killed some hill giants, as you do. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be on the pedestal here. But I'm sure it's a named. Is it the butcher? Maybe, I can't remember, but it hasn't spawned yet at all. Not the chef or something. Is that a different part of the dungeon? I can't remember now. I've got some +4 journeyman's boots, which is all you need really. Executioner. Yeah, he hasn't spawned yet, that dude. Even yesterday he didn't spawn either. Which is weird. I think Dark Elves have got some of the best, particularly plate armour, got some of the best Fashion Crest. Actually, on live as well, what I want to do is go and camp a bit of ruby sight as well, just to get it. Like if I get a chest piece, I'll be happy with that. Let's move on. I need to see. I'm not even sure about. I haven't even done any looked at the planes really at all. I don't know if planes are. I don't know if like fear is like pre-patch fear or or patched fear. I don't know actually. I think the revamp zone's been pretty good so far. I think they've been reasonably sympathetic with them. Some people have said that the gear's a bit OP, but it's supposed to be. I think that's the idea really. I think you're supposed to, like soft cap or hard cap on stats is like 500. So I think obviously it's just going to be, new gear is going to be more. Oh. Yeah, little roamer, eh? Soon sort you out. Just auto merging. It's just pointless playing the merging game at this point. We did this one, didn't we? No, not that one. What I like about this is that there are an awful lot of options to play how you want. I think the difficulty levels really help. Like D4 is just a completely different game, really. Even things like I saw someone said they were going to just pick. They were going to play one class, so they were just going to, whatever the main class was, they're only going to pick skills and abilities for that class and stuff. And yeah, it's quite a lot of ways you could play it. I knew some people who did that on TAC P. They were boxing their trio, but they were like the other trio would essentially just follow them. The other two classes would just follow them around, buffing and stuff, but they predominantly just played one class. I wonder what the sort of numbers this has been getting. Like, 'cause I only play like off peak now. Whenever I log in, all the servers say low, but I wonder what the some of the biggest, the most popular. That shithead. Fucking stunned me, dick. Yeah, because I was so surprised that like when I saw P99, people just kept going on at me for ages to go on try Hero's Journey, and obviously by that time P99 had population had dropped a lot. But it has been around for about 15 years or so. And I went to Hero's Journey. I couldn't believe how many people were on there. It was like, holy shit! This is like everyone who's ever played an Everquest emulated server. They've all come here. It was like even off peak, there was like a couple of thousand people on. It's crazy. Over on the Discord, there's been a couple of old friends of the channel who kind of like, I'm like, I've been on P99 so long, I'm just burnt out now on EverQuest. I just don't think I could start again. And a couple of weeks later, they're on there talking about builds and what they've done and all that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool. And I was kind of the same mostly. Like, like the most recent thing I did on P99 was I leveled a warrior a bit, and 2 warriors actually. So I enjoyed it so much. I haven't even heard of that one, honestly, mate, to be honest. What is that? Is it another Everquest server? I turned on, I had a hilarious thing with an ogre I was playing. Like, someone said, turn on auto duck, because it's, like, good, particularly if you're an ogre. Absolute carnage, like, running around, particularly running around Befallen. It was ridiculous. Like, he kept ducking. When he went near stuff, he would just duck. And he couldn't, he just, you know, I'm in an area where I should be able to stand, and he was ducking. So obviously he was ducking. And yeah, I couldn't fight or anything. And then I got to the bottom floor, and he just got stuck ducking. And he wouldn't stand up, even though he should have been able to stand up. It's absolute carnage. Ah, okay, mate. But probably not. No, I mean, I played. I played. I mean, I played Classic WoW back in the day, and I really enjoyed it. And it was my youngest son's favorite MMO. But it's not like I wouldn't go out of my way to play it over playing like this, for example. You know, it's not. I had a good time with it when it came out, but I might have a little look after, have a little look at some videos or something, see what see what it's saying. It's weird, isn't it? How um, oh really, mate? Wow. What way back? Yeah, what I only really played for the first or second expansion, but yeah, I think Warlock and Hunter were 2 classes I got to 60. Like, you know, back in the day originally. I think Druid as well. I always like the idea of, what am I doing here? Am I waiting for spawns? Can't remember. Did I kill everything here? I don't know. I do think though, like I do think that uh oh cool. Like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, Warlock was one of my favourite classes back in the day. It was, yeah, as I said, it was one of the 2 or 3 that I got to 60. And I love the Hunter as well. I love going out taming stuff. I think I spent more time just trying to tame rares than anything else though, to be honest, once you get 60. Let's move on. Let's move on. The paladin undead AA, it's all right. Goes off pretty reasonably frequency with reasonable frequency. I'm assuming though that it's kind of tied to decks. So once you've got yourself a few hundred decks, maybe it's proccing all the time. I don't know. Oh, nice. I mean, classic WoW, particularly with the first expansion and also, you know, there is so much, again, so much to do. You know, you could easily play it as a nice little MMO and just go through the content. You'd have a great time. I just think like with a lot of the indie MMOs at the moment, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're either not sticking to it too much, or they're not sticking. Either they're sticking to the formula too much in certain ways, but they're not enough in others. I was kind of like thinking about, I don't know, like Pantheon and Monsters of Memories particularly, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, like even someone like myself who loves certain classes, like do I really want to go through an MMO again, playing a shaman that kind of just feels almost the same as the shamans that I've played before, but weirdly, like less fun. Weirdly, I don't know how that you can make them less fun in a more modern environment. Although I know that they're, you know, they say they're not trying to be a modern MMO, but yeah. I think there's also a big issue with the visuals as well and audio. I don't mean that the graphics not good enough. I just mean that like a, you know, a reasonable part of why I really like this is just because of all of the visual and audio design as well. You know, it is just so, it's got so much character. Yeah, I kind of like a, it's one of those things, you know, where you kind of don't want to. I don't want to feel like that about it, but I think at some point you have to say, I kind of don't know. I don't know what's going on here. You know, it's like I thought it was for me, but and you kind of told it's for you, but at the same time, it's like there's just some design decisions that don't kind of really make any sense in relation to what they kind of seem to be going for. I think the issue that I've found with it is because the classes are called shaman and enchanter and whatever it is and necromancer and stuff. And I think that's some of the design thing that I don't quite understand. But they're like lesser versions of the Everquest ones, and at that point, and I kind of think to myself, oh, I don't know, like even if I'm burnt out on Everquest, like what? And like there's a game that's kind of a bit like Everquest and it's got new visuals and stuff, but I don't know. Is it worth playing though? Still, you know, if it just feels less. I think ultimately, like I don't think whether it's, I don't know if it's unfair to or not judge them that way, but I just don't think that, I don't think that these indie MMO games are being designed in the same spirit as classic Everquest was. I think that like there was a, it's like when you watch the threads and you see the people who, you know, the players who like the vocal minority who kind of seem to hold sway, you know, and always kind of talking on Discord and stuff. And it, you know, it feels as though we're looking at quite a rigid structure with regards to combat, like what's possible. Kind of not quite like the Pantheon, like Chevron debacle, but it's kind of it's difficult to explain. It's difficult to put into words, but I think so. Like EverQuest, classic EverQuest was obviously designed. The dungeons are obviously designed to be explored and enjoyed by groups, but it wasn't done in a way. It wasn't done in a way that so it felt it was done artificially or arbitrarily to make it harder for someone who wasn't in a group. I'm not quite sure if that makes sense. So it's like, yeah, we've got an MMO, and obviously we want people to group, and here's the dungeons and stuff. But there weren't any mechanics in the way that were kind of like we only want a group to go and do this. Obviously in raids and stuff you've got that, but in general, like even in like Guck or something like here, for example, you know, in classic EverQuest, yeah, I mean obviously a lot of it would depend on your class or even your gear. You know, I've seen P99 and warriors down here soloing. Obviously got fun guys and stuff, but you know, that's kind of all part of it, I think. The twinking and stuff. Yeah, you know, it's like this area wouldn't be off limits. This area wasn't designed to be off limits to someone who wasn't in a group. It was essentially just purely down to how good were you at your class. You know, could you keep your head? Did you have all the right tools and all that kind of stuff? So, yeah, classic EverQuest was designed as an MMO, but there weren't any arbitrary barriers in the way preventing someone from not being in a group if they didn't want to be. And I think that's what's happening with games like M&M and Pantheon and stuff, is that they're like, you hear players say, I mean, I'm not even sure if the devs have said this, but it's the same with all of these games. You get these like passive aggressive, parasocial people who attach themselves to a game, and they interpret what the developers have said, and it comes out in their own way. So I was looking at a thread on the Monsters Memories Discord yesterday, and someone was, and you can kind of almost hear the tone of their voice, you know. Maybe it's just me, but their post sounded like they were going, oh, well, the developers said that the game is aimed at group play. That's what it's being designed around. What does that even mean? Like, how do you design a game like that? How do you actually sit down and design a game like that? To sit down and design it in that way means that you've got to try and artificially prevent non-groups from doing stuff in some way, you know, or solo players or whatever. So that, I think that just means that your design is doomed to fail at that point. You know, it's as going back to what I was saying before, maybe it's unfair because maybe EverQuest was the lightning that struck once. Whether the design was purposeful or not, it was brilliant, and nothing else has come close to it. And maybe nothing else is going to come close to it because developers now are just like, everything is overdeveloped, everything is overtuned. Like, we want this dude to do this in this time, and he's got to do it with this and this and this, as opposed to, you know, classic EverQuest, which was just like much more of a sandboxy experience from a combat point of view. Yeah, I can't imagine. I also think it's just completely wrong for the market. You know, I think that like classic MMOs have always been highly soloable or duoable because there were never any of these arbitrary barriers in the way saying, no, we don't want you to do this. So, and then like in this thread as well, like the same person said, I don't know if the developers have said this, but it was like you can solo. This is exactly the same thing that people said about Pantheon, by the way. You can solo, but it's not intended, so it might be a bit of a drag or whatever, you know. And that is just what is that? What sort of design is that, you know? Because it means that you're having to go out your way to design the gaming that way and design the dungeons and the encounters in that way. And it's just going to be miles off of of the feeling of a classic MMO. But I've gone over it so many times. I don't think things will change. It was so nice to get augmentation when I got it, because the haste spells are so quick. Like the duration is so low. It was nice to get I'm sure the Cavalier drops a sword as well, does he? I'm only getting the spoilers so far. I think obviously ogres in robes was a big one. Hey mate, how you going? Yeah, fine, thanks. Yeah, I'm doing the meta at the moment, but I think I think I'll probably go the Holy Trinity on release. A warrior, cleric, enchanter maybe, and then level a few other classes up before Cunard comes out, kind of thing. Alright, chill out. Chill out. Having not played a monk before that much, I'm not sure if it's like it on classic or whatever, but I didn't realise some of the attacks are AOE or like conal in front of you, and I was like, why does my mez keep breaking? Ah. Playing live. Ooh, blimey. Still, I suppose it's an MMO experience for a period of time, isn't it? I imagine there's a crap ton of content. I do occasionally think about trying live just to see what it's all about, but I wouldn't have any idea where to start from a class point of view or. How are you all over there? You still just plodding on, playing your games and stuff and whatever it is that... I don't know if you guys do you use YouTube much anymore, or do you stream through Discord and stuff mostly? Oh, here we go. No executioner again? That's weird. Yeah, same here. I kind of... The content I used to do just... I think you kind of get to a point where you just feel like you're repeating yourself over and over again, and you get sick of listening to yourself. Basically, that's how I felt. I think it was when I mean I've always thought about like just doing something new, like playing different types of games, being a different type of streamer type thing. But you know, I think once a lot of my enthusiasm for P99 died off, that was kind of that was it mostly for the content. I think I stubbornly carried on because I thought that maybe we took a bit of a beating there. I stubbornly thought that an indie MMO was going to come along and it was going to invoke the same, you know, feelings, but it didn't really. It didn't really. Despite me trying hard and spending a lot of time moaning about them, and, it never happened. Earnshaw, yeah, was that the one I played? I played one recently that was. I don't think it was Earnshaw. It's the one that's kind of like a. It's kind of like a Minecraft Everquest kind of thing. I can't remember what it was called though. That was quite fun. Saying that though, something like this comes along. Yeah, that's the one. Yep, yep. Something like this comes along every now and again where I actually want to stream and stuff, and you know, do some stuff for it. People still come to listen to me moaning, so I did play that for a bit. I think I've tried a couple. I think there's a couple of them, isn't there? I did try it for a bit. I didn't stop playing. I mean, I played it back in the day again, but I didn't give it a lot of time back in the day. But yeah, again, it's there are a lot of there's a lot of emulated stuff out there to play. Like it's if you still really want to play emulate, if you still really want to play MMOs, and you want to get that thing going again, that feeling, that kind of vibe thing going, then yeah, I think emulated stuff just seems to be the way to go, really. And I'm not even talking about from a nostalgia point of view. I'm just talking about like mechanically, you know, like systems and stuff. I might check it out. Again, it's something I've heard of it, and a couple of people have recommended it to me, but I've never tried it. So I will have a look at that. Yeah, so I think that people are saying they're getting bored of it. I can't imagine why you'd ever get bored of Guck, really, no matter how much time you spent here. But I think, yeah, I think Guck is the place to come. Late 20s to 40, and then get to the hole. I guess you could probably do whole entrance, probably a bit earlier than 40. Oh, cool. Wondering if we'll see any more class changes and stuff. As I said before, I'm not, you know, I don't want all the classes to be balanced the same. It's just ridiculous. But I wonder if that's the sort of thing they'll look at. So, like, I think the Paladin is probably a lot more popular than the Shadow Knight at the moment on here. So I wonder if they will, if they'll look at that, add some stuff or whatever, change it around in some way. I think the Shadow Knight just doesn't have the sustain for the sustain that what the hell is going on? That the Paladin's got. I want to do the epic though. I want to do the ogre with a Shadow Knight epic. Yeah, it's all getting wiped. Today's the last day. I'm really just, you know, I'm just getting my fill before. Yeah, today's last day of testing, and then it's a 20, and then I guess it's next Tuesday when it goes live, 28th. It'll probably be when I'm in bed though, so I'll probably get on the 22nd, I would imagine. 29th, I mean. Okay. I'm partly looking forward to it, but not like but the playing a sky is just fucking mind melting sometimes. What am I doing? Why did that I seem to lose my target sometimes. I mean, it must be me, but I don't know. Yeah, I remember doing a lot of sky stuff on the hero's journey, and whew, even it's still tough, even on there. I think a lot of it is all the working out. Like God knows, like it would have been. I'm not sure if there were recordings of it, but it would have been great back in the day if there were like YouTube recordings of people working out playing the sky and stuff, and all the how it all worked and whatnot. Oh, yeah, I remember Minions of Mirth. Well, it rings a bell anyway. Right, am I on the Cavalier? I think so. Can't remember. Doesn't matter, right? Daybreak must have seen that how popular Hero's Journey was, though, and they little dollar signs chinged in their eyes. I reckon. I don't know how Secrets and Rogin got on board though. That's quite weird to find out. I guess they're good emulator, you know, they're running their own emulators, so you know. But yeah, it's surprising. I guess Rogin needed a new project, maybe. I guess P99 is kind of pretty much where it is now, isn't it? You know, I don't think there's any more patches and stuff to go. It doesn't look like they're going to release a new server. I think what they've done with the raiding stuff is they've done kind of like a lockout thing. So you you can do all of the difficulty levels like once a week, I think. So you can do like Nagi D0 to D4 once a week. I think you can still do them to help people, and I'm sure someone said you can actually still go and do it, but you don't get all the loot. I'm assuming it's going to be similar to yeah. I don't think there's any level. No, I mean I've seen people killing Nagi at like 40, 41, so all that stuff's turned off. Yeah. I'm not sure if anyone is aware, or if for anyone who's not aware, that you can. I'll show you in a sec. I mean, I'll play around with my UI before it goes offline later, but Yeah, so if you go to, where is it? If you go to interface, click on copy. I know you can't see it because it's small. Click on copy layout. Then this saves your layouts from your other characters. So if you create a new character, you can just load it in and it loads the... No, don't do that. And it loads the layout for you. Which I thought was pretty cool. Hopefully you can still do that when it goes live. I don't think you've got to download another client or anything. I'm assuming it's just... I so like on the hero's journey, I did the mage epic, and I so enjoyed doing that. It was so good traveling around because I did it properly, like going to all the places, getting all the stuff, like in order of what it said on the P99 wiki and stuff. It was really cool. It's a shame they kind of killed off the pet cuck trio in here. Yeah, I don't understand those kind of things. As I said, it's supposed to be like a solo game. It's like I don't think something can't. I just don't think something can be too powerful. You know, it's kind of. Woof. Must have missed that room. A full spawn again. The enchanter pet's really good on here, but it's really lagging behind me in levels now. I'm not sure what the mage pets are like, but I hope the epic is really uber. Get like a, I don't know, mage, I don't know, mage shaman enchanter or something. I'd buff the crap out of it. Yeah, warrior monk was something that I tried as well because I was just trying to create a melee character with the most like mitigation and whatever as possible. I think the only thing with that is you lose some castable stuff from enchanters and shamans, I guess, but I remember when the beta first started, there was just a load. There was quite a few content creator people and people on the Discord and stuff were saying that you essentially couldn't do D4 without certain characters, certain classes, and that kind of thing. But over the course of beta, that's pretty much been debunked, really. Yeah, Pally Monk is really strong though. I know a lot of people have been trying Berserker instead of Monk as well. I think there's some concern over stamina usage there though. Having Berserker stance on, which seems to be one of the main reasons for playing Berserker, seems to be, particularly at later levels, seems to be a bit of a stamina hog. I like the way that they've actually made stamina relevant now, where it kind of never really was. And my stamina's going down just using my whatever I'm using. Yeah, Pally Monk Enchanter, Pally Monk Shaman, I've seen quite a lot of. Bard is considered one of the top classes as well. I think you need a lot of spell slots though for Bard. But yeah, that's considered a good pick as well. Like as a complete support class. It's, I think it does. Yeah, it has a. I'm not sure if it's an AA, but it has a thing where apparently you can slot 4 songs, and it just keeps playing them over, and it just plays them. You don't have to play them, I think, so it kind of auto plays them. But that takes up 4 spell slots. You can have up to 14 spell slots in the end, but yeah. So I think there is something that allows you to do that. I'm not sure if it's the same thing. I didn't really play a bard much at all. But yeah, there seems to be a skill or an AA that lets you slot 4 songs and just play them over and over, and then you can manually play other stuff. Yeah, that'd probably be quite cool. You just I guess you could replace the enchanter with the bard, really. Righto, mate. Yeah, I think this is my last mob. Got some chores to do, so. Oh, oh bugger! Stuck in the wall. Is there a stuck or I can't remember if it's stuck or rewind. Yeah, you too, mate. Take care. There we go. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Yeah, this is oops, oh, bloody hell. This is the last day of beta, so yeah, that's it until next week, 28th, I guess, which is next Tuesday. But unless it goes live early UK time, I'll probably be playing on Wednesday, I would imagine, where I will stream and hopefully have made up my mind as to what trio that we would be I'll be moving ahead with. Well, I think kind of like, as I said, like probably run Wizard to 25 to get all the ports, and then go from there. I think probably will be the first goal. I'm not sure if there's I know, for example, like if you go into I was in the Gina, when I was in the Gina, I think there were like pages dropping, like water mastery or whatever the pages are. I think they were. So I don't know if like part of the plan before Cunark hits is, I'm not sure if there's anything in the game to prepare for kind of epics when they come. So yeah, I mean, do some of that, level some classes, do some of that, maybe do some raids, upgrade the gear, do some D4s, all that kind of stuff, I reckon. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.